Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rody and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day guys and welcome to episode 156 of All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast. Rody's just cracking and spilling his beer all over the place. Goodness me, I'm sure you could have heard that in the background. That was a horrible effort.
Did you shake that up on me?
No, I didn't. This has happened twice in a row with these beers. They've obviously, I don't know, something's happened to them and they're a bit super frothy. But we've got a huge episode, Rody. We've got Lucas Weaver on later today.
We do, Diz. He is a guru in all things freshwater fishing, does his part for RecFish. Dizzy's going to try and crack open his beer and not make a mess, and he's made a little bit of a mess, but not as much as me. He got a fair bit of foam up his nose, if anyone's interested.
Yeah, for any of those playing along at home. At least mine's not all over the pool table, so I think I've done that well there. Rody, I think we should get stuck into our oranges and lemons before we get into the meat of this episode, as they say. What have you got for us by way of orange?
Dizzy, we've got a week off coming up next week. We're going to your parents' place at Black Point. We're really looking forward to it. The kids are excited for some whiting, some crabs. And, we're just excited for a bit of time off work and a bit of fishing, Diz.
Yeah, they are frothing for it. So it's going to be a good week, I reckon. Hopefully the fish play the game. My orange, Rody, was I just had a weekend away down at Kingston, southeast.
Yeah, nice. Thanks for the invite. Always good.
Yeah, well, you might need to hit up the chief organisers of that event, which was the Goods, who lived down there. But
no, fair enough.
No, it was a nice little weekend away. It's a lovely part of the world, isn't it? Albeit that they don't have a boat ramp there anymore.
They don't even have a jetty. You took some photos and sent them through. We need to put them up, don't we, Diz?
Jetty closed. That storm would have done some absolute damage.
And I think they're still waiting on insurance, I think.
Yes, sounds about right. Rody, what was your lemon?
Dizzy, has it rained at all this year?
Oh.
Has it? I'm actually being serious. I don't think it has.
Oh, mate, it was spitting the other day.
Hasn't rained much.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to Black Point, and the second day we're there, there's like 15 mil forecast. How did we luck out like that?
Yeah. It's yeah, that's not ideal. Let's hope it's just a one-day sort of thing. But what I would say is the farmers will be happy with a bit of rain, won't they?
They will, Diz. Always think of the farmers, aren't you?
And my lemon was just a complete lack of fishing at Kingston for mine.
Well, did you take a rod?
Beach looked amazing.
Did it?
Saturday. Beautiful day. Lovely day. There were a few people down by the jetty flicking out a few bits of bait and a few lures probably. I actually think with the jetty being blown away that there's a few little artificial reefs that you can cast out
nice. To. Now you're thinking. Get some flathead down there, don't they, Diz?
I think so, yeah.
Do you know what I have been seeing, like, I'm not going to say regularly, but sporadically from Robe, which is just near Kingston, that's why I bring that up, Diz, is elephant sharks.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know how they're cool-looking things, aren't they?
They are cool-looking things.
We caught one there. I don't reckon you were there that day.
Can you eat them?
Yeah, they're supposed to be really good.
Good chewing.
Yeah, they're supposed to be really good eating. We did catch one at Robe one day in the old boat, I reckon, Pez and Goody.
Yeah, I wasn't
Once
there
upon
for
a time.
My invite must have got lost in the
fair enough.
that day.
Fair enough.
All right, Rody, let's move it on. What else have we got for the listeners out there today? We've got a bit of an update on all things socials.
Yeah, Diz. I probably haven't done my best work on the socials the last fortnight, have I?
Oh, well, I'll cut you some slack.
That
you do most of the heavy lifting around the socials.
That stingray video I shared, which certainly wasn't my video, I can't actually remember who took it. Someone did, but that was pretty confronting footage, you would say.
It was. Not too many comments on the AI trend that you put up?
No, I thought that was, I think everyone else was doing it. I just felt a bit left out.
Yeah, I sort of wonder whether some people thought, oh, what a bunch of nuffies.
Yeah, anyway, whatever.
But no, it was not too bad.
But we have had some correspondence, Diz, via voice memo.
Yes, this is an exciting part of the episode. So we had a real call to action, didn't we?
And we've had some luck, Diz. We've had some good responses.
We had some luck. We certainly have. So We're going to play a couple of these voice messages or some snippets from these voice messages. So, Rhodey, why don't you kick us off with the first one?
Dizzy, this is Isaiah Luther Nunnally, who has a bit of a theory on some snapper fishing and something that might have happened to him.
Hey guys, this is Isaiah. I just finished listening to your podcast today and just sitting here tying some new snapper rigs now. Just fished the southeast zone for snapper the day before yesterday and got my PB, which I was pretty stoked with. So I'm tying up some new paternosters and snelled sort of free lining rigs and try and do it again soon. Putting some Lumo beads on there and sort of mucking around with my little fly tying vise with teasers that I'm making and that kind of thing. Bit tentative with these Lumo beads now. I usually put one above my swivel on my main line just to stop the swivel from ramming into the top guide if I do reel it in too quick. We were down there in the southeast zone in about 30 metres of water and this bronzy came up past the boat and then about a minute later he went down and snipped my line and so he bit me off and I'm thinking, why didn't he bite me off on my actual rig on the hooks or around the baits or on the fluorocarbon somewhere, but he bit me off my main line and then I realised he went for that Lumo bead above the swivel and so I lost the whole lot and then of course couldn't find any swivels quickly so dropped down a whiting rod with one of my snapper rigs on it and that had about 40-50 metres of line on it and then of course that's the one that goes off. So I've quickly grabbed the spool and very slowly brought up what's my PB now, an 80 centimetre snapper. So pretty stoked with that. And
very good little insight there, and we love the real attention to detail in that commentary was a highlight for mine.
What do you think about the Lumo bead? You do hear of sharks, they bite outboard props because they're a bit shiny in the water. Could the Lumo bead be the same theory?
Could be. Well, shout out to anyone else who's had a similar experience.
I know fishing like Queensland, Port Douglas way, I know they talk about mackerel hitting like shiny swivels like that.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I know that's a thing.
Yeah.
So whether or not that's a similar situation here, Diz.
Could be, Rhodey. Could be.
Hit us up if you know.
Yeah,
if you know more than us and Isaiah.
Yeah. This is the greatest thing about fishing. It's a lot of theories all coming together with the right plan on the day.
All right, Diz, and we've got another voice memo. This one is from a fella named Bo Levine. So here we go, Bo.
Ready and Diz, how you going, boys? My name's Bo. Just got a question regarding swell and wind ratings. I do quite a lot of fishing just by myself, solo off of North Haven and Metro and stuff like that. I got a 6.5 metre fiberglass boat. But I'm looking to head down Encounter Bay and sort of tackle the tuna when they start rolling in. I won't be doing it by myself, but I don't want to end up on the news. So I was sort of wondering, what weather do you guys sort of draw the line at? Like when you're looking at the weather window, like what's your swell heights, what's your wind, max wind ratings, what direction of the wind? What would you guys be comfortable heading out with before I waste my time driving down?
Oh, look, good on you, Bo, for reaching out to us with a voice message. We absolutely love that. I'm not really sure what about our podcast titled All the Gear But No Idea. Bo didn't get to catch there that might suggest we might not be the two best blokes to take any advice from. But in all seriousness, I think we've had plenty of joy down there on days where the swell's, 10 knots or less and the swell's sort of kept down. But what I would say, Rhodey, which is a bit of a shout out to that Victor Harbour fishing page, there's a lot of really helpful comments there that far more experienced skippers have posted about wind conditions, swells that are tricky to navigate down there, et cetera, and I'd just be encouraging Bo to get on there and have a bit of a read.
Yeah, it is, and it's one of those things like, I don't know where Bo lives, but for us, you're driving out to Victor and, it's not like it's around the corner. You can stick your head out and have a quick look. You sort of have to make the decision based on the forecast and then run with it a little bit. But we have got down there and got down there and not launched the boat Dizzy once upon a time because we got there and it was just way windier than forecast. So I think you always have to have the reality that could happen.
Yeah.
And we've also gone down there, like we say, 10 knots we've always found pretty fishable if the swell's sort of down a metre or not much more than that. Very fishable. But we have been out there and then it picks up to 15 knots. And while you might never feel unsafe, you certainly get pretty wet in our boat, Diz.
Yeah, that's true. And it's one of those things that, you know, your experience over time is going to put you in good stead for managing those conditions because, of course, as you say, they are just forecasts. So the weather will do what the weather does, and certainly a great call from you, Bo, to reach out. But there's plenty of other people online and otherwise that might be able to give you some better tips and tricks.
And the only other thing to remember is the wind against the swell disc can sometimes make the conditions a lot worse than what the forecast sort of reads.
Yeah, good call. All right, Rody, what else we had flooding in over the socials?
Dizzy, we had actually, was that last episode or maybe the episode before that, I was rambling on about not much, and I think I asked for any ideas about merch, Diz.
Oh, yeah?
And Anton Reed has chipped in his 2 cents, which I actually really like. He's suggested, what about a prop flag or a prop cover or a brag mat or sticker? We have done stickers before. I like the brag mat idea. We don't use a prop cover. I don't know whether many people do. Maybe more do than I realise.
Yeah.
But the one that jumps out for me that could be a winner, Dizzy, is the prop flag.
Yes.
And we've actually got a custom prop flag that Dan, the fishing guru, hooked up for us.
Yes.
So maybe we need to talk to Dan about a bit of a collaboration.
Bit of a joint venture, you think?
So I'm sure Dan's listening. So let's see if Dan likes Anton Reed's idea as much as I do.
Yeah, I reckon a bit of a shout out to you, Dan. Get us a voice memo about what sort of contractual obligations you'd put upon us to do a joint venture in the prop flag world.
The other thing I want to know about, I've always thought this about prop flags. So Dan's made us, I think it's like a red.
Yeah.
It's more red than orange.
Yeah.
But you see a lot of red and you see a lot of orange.
What do you want to see?
Occasionally you see like a yellow or a blue and people have just tied whatever they've got. Is there a legal colour that your prop flag has to be?
I don't know. I think I've seen a T-shirt dangling off a
plenty of
prop
times.
once upon a time.
Plenty of times. Most are orange. Like I say, you do see red and yellow, but can you use any colour you like or does it have to be a certain colour?
Good idea. Well, nice one, Rody. Can't wait to hear about that one. We've talked a bit about the stingrays at Point Suda, Point Turton. Very disappointing to see that the algal bloom is there, and I worry that it's just heading up that side of the peninsula now, mate.
Certainly is, Diz, and we might talk about that a bit later on in the news, will we?
Good call. Let's speaking of the news, let's get into it.
Rody and Diz have been searching far and wide to bring you the latest news across all fishing in the state, and we'll give you the rundown on what you need to know.
Well, we've got a bit of news to get through here, Rody, and I think we should start with the wonderful post that RecFish put up about getting out there and finding where the tuna are.
Yeah, Dizzy, this one came about just after, the news sort of broke about this pretty much as we were releasing our last episode. So we didn't get to talk about it, Diz, but it was great to see that RecFish and a group of other organisations got together and chartered a plane, Dizzy, and went out looking for tuna just to, I suppose, see what was out there and I suppose to prove to everyone that there were fish out there. And they shared a video on their Facebook page, and this was in collaboration with Brad from Fleurieu Fishing Charters, Tyson from Want to Fish Fishing Charters, the Game Fishing Club of South Australia, and RecFish. And they put up a video and they actually shared the coordinates in the video of where those fish were. And they had, I think, a couple of them were up in the boat, radioing down to Tyson on his boat. So a couple of them were up in the plane finding the fish. Tyson was down in his boat and they were able to put him on the fish. And he caught one of the very first tuna that had been caught off the Fleurieu this year, Diz.
Very good news.
I think it's a good thing for RecFish to do, Diz, to promote that there are some fish out there. There's obviously not a lot of fish.
Yeah.
But just to show that there were some, and maybe it's something they'll do again and help people to get a bit of a pointer in the right direction.
Yeah. Maybe you should go away to like plane school and learn to become a pilot, and then you can go out there and I'll just do all the fun stuff down on the ground.
I would like to fly a plane. However, I did see that disaster at Goolwa recently, and
sad.
There are a lot of not that a lot of people are flying sort of small planes, but you do hear about farming accidents and things like that involving planes, reasonably often, Dizzy. So it's a bit scary as well, I think.
Yes, yep, true. All right, Rody, what else have we got? There's been an illegal crayfish haul.
Dizzy, we often report on these illegal hauls of abalone or crayfish or whatever they are. This was a pretty bad one, Diz. Someone got done with 100 southern rock lobsters by fisheries. This was down in the southeast. A Mount Gambier man was intercepted by fisheries officers from Pursa with the assistance of SAPOL. Many of these were undersized as well, Dizzy. 111 southern rock lobsters, many of which were undersized.
Yeah, wow.
It's a lot, and they should. I know we always say this, but they've got to throw the book at these people.
Is that like a black market type of job?
Have to be, wouldn't it?
I don't know how you're getting through 111 rock lobster. I mean, I know they're nice chewing, but
the other thing to me is,
where are you keeping 111 of them?
Nah, you got to be selling them on the black market. But you wonder. The thing that I would love to know is, has this person done it 10 times before, or was this the first time? And my bet is it probably wasn't the first time. They probably got a bit greedy and got 10 or 12 one day and kept them. And then they thought, oh, this is all right. Then they got 20 and then 50 and now they're at 100.
Horrible scenes, mate.
Hopefully they're going through that bloke's phone and seeing if he's got pictures of doing it in the past.
Yeah.
I should be a detective with that sort of idea.
Yeah. You'd also be a pretty dumb criminal to be taking photos of your prize catch.
Yeah.
Look at these boys, we've got 50 today. Anyway, we don't like seeing that. We really don't. We like covering it because hopefully, it's a real deterrent for anybody, and it's good to bring these to light, I think, because it certainly is aimed at deterring other people from doing when they get brought to justice. So, Rody, what else is happening across the nation?
Dizzy, we've talked about WA having fishing bans. We obviously know South Australia's had massive restrictions in fishing lately, and it's now hit Tasmania too. And there's a ban on sand flathead fishing in southeastern Tasmania. So they've said that the population is severely declined in Tasmanian waters. So from March 1st, there'll be a temporary ban put in place. It is only a small portion of the state. I don't know my geography of Tassie, but it looks like it's down near Hobart.
Yep.
So there's sort of two specific coordinates that within that zone you are not allowed to catch any flathead. Then there's the eastern zone. You're allowed 5 as your limit, 10 for the northern zone, which covers a lot of the state as well. So sad, really, Diz, that one little corner of the state you can't catch any, and the rest are quite heavily restricted as well, Diz. But they have said the population has severely declined to 5% of what it should be.
Oh, wow. That's nasty.
So a bit of a worrying trend across Australia, really, isn't it, Diz?
All the gear but no idea takes on Tasmania.
Well, we won't be going there, mate. I feel our freeze with flathead, will we?
No, we won't be. All right, this next news story is about the Kingston Jetty. So this is a post recently from the Kingston Council, which basically outlines that they're waiting to hear back from the government about the insurance claim because this happened in May of last year. And then there was some further damage at some other storm events in June. So the jetty is like completely damaged. Basically, the jetty, for anybody who hasn't been down there, it's a very long jetty. A lot of it goes over what's now basically just low-lying dunes and scrub, and you can't use it officially as a jetty to fish off or do any water-based activities until you get right to the end. And the end, of course, is the area that's been severely damaged. There's a big temporary fence on there that says jetty's closed at a certain point. You can't go any further and you can't use it. So all of the locals, anyone visiting, that jetty is entirely out of action, and it comes at a time where the Cape Jaffa facility is increasingly difficult to use with, a large amount of sand build up and the like. So the area is doing it a bit tough, Rody, in terms of facilities.
They certainly are, Diz, and I'm no marine engineer, but that looks like it's quite an expensive job to fix that.
Yeah, mate. It was severe.
Yeah.
It was severe.
And big signs saying stay out.
Yeah, big signs like basically can't go past this point.
And nothing about dates or timelines. It sounds like it's all pretty up in the air.
Yeah, nothing at this stage. You'd think that it's probably a case of, insurer going through the process of XYZ, then finding somebody who's going to take on the job and then assigning it, and then they got to put it in their book and they slowly but surely go get to it.
Not a good one there, Diz. Not a good one at all. Now, we should just touch on the algal bloom, Dizzy. We've heard Point Turton and the surrounds. Point Suda's been pretty badly hit, getting up towards sort of Hardwick Bay and the likes, Diz, I believe, Port Rickaby.
Yeah.
So it seems to be getting into that gulf, which is not ideal, Dizzy. How far up it goes is anyone's guess, and I suppose the wind and tides and water currents and things like that are going to play a big part. I did see Janine Baker, who's been involved in a lot of that reporting, citizen science type stuff around the algal bloom and all that. Dizzy, she posted on a couple of those Facebook pages just with a bit of information for anyone around Port Lincoln about what they should be looking out for if they are going to report it onto that. Is it iNaturalist? I think it's called, Diz. So based on that, I think her prediction was that Port Lincoln might have some sort of impact soon, that maybe it's heading in that direction, and that was just a bit of a shout out to everyone over there to start keeping an eye on things and just, fingers crossed it doesn't, but if it does, they've got people there ready to keep an eye on things, Diz. So that's not a great sign either.
No, and I'm sure there'll be people looking at this very closely, given how important the seafood industry is to Port Lincoln and the rest of the state for that matter, really. But I'm sure that this will make headlines and certainly be, very well covered by the media if it does get to Port Lincoln. But it's still not good news to see, Rhodey.
Certainly not, Diz. Let's not talk about that for too long because we'll all get sad and all that. So let's keep moving, Diz. Let's get into our tackle item of the week.
Now it's time for Rhodey and Diz to really show you what it means to have all the gear with a lot of idea as they review a tackle item of the week.
This is a good tackle item of the week. I like this. And
we've had some bad ones too.
We've had some bad ones, but this is not a bad one. This is great. We're covering the dingle dangle.
The name is great. Don't you agree?
Excellent. It's so good. I don't know who came up with it, but it is a wonderful name. Talk us through what a dingle dangle is, Rhodey. And before we do that, we're going to have a bit of a shout out to the man behind Real SA. Jake, an absolute guru. We had him on the show. One of his latest videos really does explain and showcase the dingle dangle in use, and he converts.
Yes, so Diz, Jake McLeod was in episode 154, so only 2 episodes ago, Real SA Fishing, so give him a plug, go back and have a listen and watch some of his YouTube channels, Diz, and you'll get a real-life experience of the dingle dangle.
Yes, good call. So for any listeners who don't do that or they're not quite getting to it, talk us through the dingle dangle.
So, Dizzy, it comes from Vexed. So they make those rigs, the Vex system with the whiting rigs with the colourful lead sinker that sort of attracts fish and then has the hooks trailing off the sinker. The whiting system they've got there, Diz. And they do a lot of other jigs and things like that. So they do a lot of great stuff. They're based over in WA. So they sell the dingle dangle. And it says here, Dizzy, it is a must-have for any angler looking to maximise their bait presentation. As a flotation core, it lifts baits off the bottom, increasing their visibility and minimising interference from stingrays and crabs. So, Dizzy, it says here that it started with pommy carp anglers but surf-modified and perfected by our mates in South Africa. So what it is, Dizzy, is it's a different size hook. So this one's an 8/0 hook with a large piece of, I suppose it's foam that you wrap your bait onto, Diz, using a bait thread.
Yep.
And then it floats the bait up off the bottom. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
That's basically the idea.
It's meant to sort of suspend it mid-water column, really.
But is it mid-water or just off the bottom?
Oh, just off the bottom.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of Yeah.
So it's off the bottom enough that, like they say, the crabs and the banjo sharks and rays don't get it.
Yeah.
But you are still targeting those bottom-dwelling fish.
Yes.
You're not floating a balloon.
Yeah.
It's sitting just up off the surface, Diz.
Yeah.
And I suppose it makes it more visible as well, does it?
I suppose so.
And it comes in a range of sizes, Dizzy. These ones are pre-rigged. There's a 5.0 hook with a 4.5 centimetre dingle-dangle, a 6.0 hook with a 6 centimetre dingle-dangle, a 7.0 hook with an 8 centimetre dingle-dangle, and an 8.0 hook with a 10 centimetre dingle-dangle. And you can buy them unrigged as well, Dizzy, so you just get the foam dingle-dangle and then you put it on whatever size hook you like.
For anybody on the dingle-dangle count out there, we just got to a dozen.
That's some good dingle-dangling.
Get yourself a dingle-dangle. Head into your...
Sports fishing scene's got them.
Head into sport fishing scene. Just go in there anyway. Just go in there.
Do you want to know what I've done, though? Here's my stuff up. So I think sports fishing scene had maybe one of the sizes, but not the others.
Yeah.
And I wasn't actually going to make it out to sports fishing scene this week before we go to Black Point. So what have I done, Dizzy? I've ordered it off the website from WA where they make them, like direct from the manufacturer. And I thought, that's all right, Perth's pretty close. Bloody delivery with Australia Post is due for Monday.
Oh, no.
So we're going to miss them.
Dang it.
So anyway, sometimes
we'll have to go via sport fishing scene.
We
Simple.
might have to. Sometimes they do come early, but otherwise we're going to sports fishing scene and the girls won't be that thrilled with us.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Do you know why they won't be thrilled? Because we'll say we're nicking in to get a dingle-dangle. We'll be in there for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We'll get lost in there most probably.
We'll get on the simulator. They've got the fishing simulator set up.
I know, it's such a great setup. All right, get on to the dingle-dangles. Hopefully, when we use the dingle-dangles over the coming days and weeks, we'll be able to send you a photo a bit like Jake did and convert.
All right, Dizzy, that's been a great tackle segment. Let's get into our guest, Dizzy. Lucas Weaver. He's a freshwater fishing superstar. He's been doing lots of great work for RecFish, and he's here to tell us a bit of his story, Diz.
Now it's time to get our guest on the line. We'll ask them the all-important 5 questions, then chat all things fishing in SA.
All right, Rhodey, we are very lucky now to be joined by Lucas Weaver, an absolute gun fisho, and we are very lucky to be joined by you, Lucas. Thanks for coming on the show, mate.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We've got one of the kings of freshwater fishing in South Australia here, Dizzy, and we're going to talk about some of his exploits in a minute. But let's get into our 5 questions that we ask all our guests, Diz. And let's start off by telling us about your best fish, Lucas.
Best fish would have been my 150 centimetre cod I caught 20 years ago. Haven't bedded that fish yet, but that one will stay with me until I'm 6 feet under, guys.
That's a very, very, very good fish. And how many hours have you put into trying to beat that PB?
20 years.
Have you come close?
I've got quite a few in the 140, mid 140 bracket, but nothing that has beaten that yet. I've hooked a few that probably would have done it, but they busted me off.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Great fish.
Lucas, I know you're
you.
predominantly a freshwater fisher, but have you thought about saying, stuff it, I'm never going to beat that PB. I'm going to go and target kingfish or tuna or do something different instead?
Oh, yeah, I'll get there one day. I'll just start chasing kingies. And I have got my small boat out on the tuna when they were off Warina a few years ago. It was one of my goals to do, was put a tuna in my little tinny.
Nice.
Do a fair bit of saltwater work down the Coorong. So, yeah, I'm not just predominantly fresh. I do branch out a little bit.
Awesome, mate. Now tell us your favourite thing about fishing.
It's you against the fish. There's no other thought going through your head. It's where are they hiding, where are they at, work, and everything else is so far away. That's the best part. It's a release for me.
Great call, mate. Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you anymore. What about your first fishing memory, or what got you into it?
First fishing memory would have been coming up here to Murray Bridge with my dad when I was in year 7 and catching my first Callop when I was 12, and that got me hooked.
Very good. That's a common answer. Going out fishing with your dad or your uncle or your grandpa. So that's how a lot of us got our start, and that's a great way to get going. Now, tell us, what is your favourite sort of fishing and why?
At the moment, my favourite sort of fishing is soft plastic fishing for carp, sight casting.
Ooh, nice.
Because it's visual. They fight hard on light gear. You can't get any better than a sight cast fish.
And what sort of soft plastics you go to?
Like your brim style plastics, your little 2-inch and 3-inch grubs, your like your shrimps. You just got to run it past their nose, and if they're on, they will hunt it down.
Epic, mate. That sounds like bloody good fun. I've always liked, like when you're up the river, sometimes in the backwaters, especially when it's like real shallow, you can see them just tailing around, and that's always good fun, isn't it? Quite a few people get them on flies, don't they? Like in those sort of waters sometimes.
Yeah. Well, that's where I took I got the thought from, guys chasing it on fly. I'm not a fly man myself, so I thought, how can I get them? And soft plastics was the next best option.
Yeah, how good. Epic. All right, Lucas, tell us about a funny fishing story or the one that got away.
One that got away would have been one of the cod that would have broken my 150 PB. I was up the river with a few good mates, Mick Wilson, Stephen Vanstone, and they were fishing a particular bend, and I come around the bend being a smart chap, and I hung the trolling line wide, had my lad in the boat, and the rod buckled over. That was in Robbie rod holder. No one was holding it. I couldn't get that rod out, and then when I did, that fish began to rail me, and it bent the front treble hook, which was a ×5 GT hook, straight, and broke the lure to pieces.
Oh, spewing.
Yeah. That was on a lock drag on 50-pound line, so she was a big girl, that one.
I suppose the only thing about that is there probably wasn't a lot you could have done.
No, not at all.
If that happens, the fish wins. There's not much you can do.
What made it memorable was I had me lad Cyrus in the boat at the time, and he just said, "Oh, don't worry, Dad, you'll get another one." And I was didn't really put the dummy back in my mouth.
Oh, that's so humbling. Young kids, I love it when they come out with that sort of stuff. It's like, oh, yeah, you'll be right. We'll get another one.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, mates. Now, tell us about your time. You're heavily involved in the Lower Murray River Fishing Club. Have I got that right?
I think you missed a lure out of there, Diz.
A lure,
Yeah,
yes.
Yep,
Always
the Lower Murray Lure Fishing Club. I was one of the founding members back in 2009. Was on the board or as an executive until 2018, when I decided to walk away from fishing for a few years. I'd had enough of the politics, steered it where it needed to be, and become the first life member of that club.
Very good. And are you back involved now, Lucas, or are you just sort of fishing socially again?
No, I'm back involved. I think it's my third year as secretary. I'm probably back fishing harder than I ever have. So it wasn't like the love was lost altogether. I just needed
a break.
Have a break and do a few things around the house with the family. And then, I was always intent on coming back and getting back into it.
And tell us how the club's going. We have had quite a few people who are involved in the club over the years, but tell us about what's been happening recently and what's on the agenda at the moment.
Club's booming. I think we got 69 members. From what I understand, we're the largest Answer affiliated club in the state. Great grassroots club. If you want to know how to catch a fish on the lure, come up, have a beer around the fire. Everyone is more than welcome to tell you how, where, when to catch those fish, and then it's up to you.
Yeah, awesome. We love hearing that. It is a common theme about fishing clubs like that, about sharing information. There's so much good stuff out there for young people to get into it, and that's certainly a great way to get involved in the club, mate. That sounds like it's absolutely going gangbusters, so that's great.
Yes, yep.
Now, Lucas, tell us about the season at the moment. How's the fishing going? Obviously, there's been lots of algae affecting so much fishing across the state, but freshwater's been a pretty reliable option, and it's been fishing well from what we hear.
Yes, up until recently, guys were doing it tough. They let the dirty water get into their heads. Always a firm believer you can catch a fish if there's water. Give you an example. I went out last Thursday, Friday, and over those 2 days, I tagged 28 Callop.
Oh, good going.
And it was just I just had to prove a point that even though it's dirty, they still got to eat. Yeah, you might not get them all day, every day, but when you do get them, you can put a few on a boat in quick succession.
Beautiful. Now, you talk about tagging. I know you're involved. You're on the board at RecFish as well, Lucas, and you tagged a lot of fish as a part of the Let's Go Fishing competition. Can you tell us about that?
So I reckon I've got about 150 Callop tags in the river.
All for that competition?
All for that competition.
Yeah.
So they're a little blue tag swimming around, ready to go. Also been up in Lake Bonnie over the last month and a half, getting in 100 tags into carp. So any lucky guy or gal that catches them will get $100 per fish.
And have many of them been caught yet?
None of them have been re-caught, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm just reading now that winner number 3 in the round 2 swam a long way, that fish, before it was caught. Can you tell us about that one?
Tagged that one here in Murray Bridge, I believe, in October. 3 months, it swam down to Wellington, so it swam 40 k's downstream.
Yeah, it's pretty good going, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. And tell us about your involvement in RecFish. You've been on the board for a little bit now?
This is my 3rd year on the board. Come on the board when Alex Williams stepped down, and I thought there needed to be a voice for freshwater, so I'm the board or the director for both the River Murray and the Reservoirs. It's been an exciting and an eye-opening experience. Probably wouldn't look back. I'll probably try to stay on the board for as long as possible and drive freshwater as much as I can.
And that's been rewarding? You feel like you're achieving things? I know freshwater is booming, really, with lots of reservoirs opening and more stocking at Maiponga going on at the moment, and the Todd Reservoir at Port Lincoln opening. So you've had some involvement in all of that, have you?
Yes, I have. Yes, it is. It's a double-edged sword, as you guys might understand. It's frustrating at times when there's red tape to cut, but when you do get that cut, it is a very, very rewarding experience.
Nice. And any idea how quickly those bass will be in the Todd Reservoir at Port Lincoln?
Can't really give away too much details, but very soon.
Fair enough. You'll keep us hooked on that one.
Yep.
Beautiful. And Lucas, tell us, you did a fishing forum as a part of that round 2 of the Let's Go Fishing competition. Tell us about that. You shared a bit of your wisdom on all things freshwater fishing. Is that right?
A little bit of all things. It was more my 40 years of experience of catching Callop.
Yeah.
How to go about it, what to look for, when to fish, where to fish with lures, baits, rigs. The crowd we had there, well, a really good crowd. I got them to pull me up whenever they had a question, because you get to the end of a presentation like that and guys usually hold back. They've forgot what they've got to say. No, it was a very rewarding day, that one. Everyone was pretty happy. Beautiful.
And it was quite interactive. They all got involved then?
Certainly did. I reckon nearly everyone in the room had a question and stopped me as I went through.
You must have been there all night then.
Oh, it was a good hour talk, I reckon.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Epic, mate. Now tell us what's on the horizon. Any big fishing trips planned, or you're just going to keep going as hard as you can in all the varieties of fishing that we've just talked about?
At the moment, I'm dead set on setting new state records. Cool. For answer. I've got 8 pending ones at the moment. And I'm just a little bit addicted on catching fish online class.
Any particular line class you're going for?
Well, one of you guys messaged me the other day. I'd been down to Coorong, so I got a 1.3 kilo mulloway and 1 kilo line.
Oh, nice.
It's 1 kilo lines. I've never fished with it that often, and it's it really is a challenge.
Yeah.
I did get a 2.7 kilo Callop on 1 kilo line mid last year as well. But anything from 1, 2, 3, 4, there's plenty of records out there in state that haven't been set or are achievable to be broken.
Do you hold any at the moment, Lucas?
I've got 1 and 2 kilo lure casting for Callop. There's a few carp ones. I've got the all tackle length redfin, the all tackle length Callop, which was a 63.5 centimetre Callop, and there's probably a few more.
Very good. And talking about some of this competitive stuff that we're getting into, you talked about your club being one of the biggest answer clubs in the state, or the biggest. Are you going to this event up at Bundalia Reservoir over the March long weekend?
Yes, certainly am.
Can you tell us about that and tell us if you're planning on how you're planning on taking out the title?
Oh, I'm taking my whole family. I haven't fished up there in 30 years, to be honest. Back when my brother was alive, we went up and had a look when you couldn't fish it. We heard whispers of bass and Murray Cod had been released in there by a couple of old-timers. So it'll just be it's probably more going to be a social weekend, getting to know some of the other clubs and their members, and catching a fish is going to be a bonus, I reckon. And
is that across different species, that competition as well?
It's a total centimetres. So whatever club catches the most amount of fish, it'll be tallied up in a total centimetres, and the winner is the guy or the team with the most centimetres at the end of the 2 days.
Oh, well, you're doing the right thing, bringing the family, all your friends, get anyone you can find.
Yeah.
Epic, mate.
It'll be a good one because, my young lad he's not that big of a fisherman, and neither is my wife, and they're looking forward to it just to socialise with some of the other families up there, so it'll be great.
Very good. And last thing we want to ask you about sort of the agenda and going forwards. Have you got any RecFish related plans, or what's in the pipeline there? Is there anything you can let us in on a secret?
We haven't sat for a board meeting this year. That is next Monday. So probably nothing I can reveal today to you guys.
We should have recorded next week, Diz.
Yeah, we should have. Nah, it sounds good. Well, mate, you have a wonderful long weekend. Enjoy the fishing. Thanks for all the work you do around getting everyone involved in freshwater fishing and being that advocate on RecFish's board, mate. It's wonderful to have a chat with you today, and thanks for joining us.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, Dizzy, good to learn about all things freshwater fishing with Lucas. I know every time we have a freshwater guest on, we do say it's something we need to do more of, but I'm being serious this time.
Oh, it was exceptionally good to have a chat with him. And you're right, we don't need to do more of it. It's always
because we used to enjoy it when we did it more of it.
Yeah. I think the thing about it is and I always loved being going down the river for a weekend camping or whatever, and you just have all day to just lounge around, have a few beers, do some fishing, rah. I think the reality that we have at the moment with kids is just slightly different to that.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's practical to be we'll just sneak out for an hour on the river fishing.
Yeah.
Whereas
it's like a whole
you can
job.
sort of do that if you're, not an hour, that's not quite right, but, a couple of hours or whatever. But anyway, sooner rather than later, we'll get back to it, Rody, and we'll look forward to that for sure. Let's get into the fishing report.
Rody and Diz have been out on the water to bring you the news about where they're biting. Now it's time for the fishing report.
Plenty of blueies, Rody. Big blueies.
Yes, I'm hearing good blue swimmer crabs all around the place.
Big blueies. Big dinosaur-looking blueies.
Yes, very good, very good. And they're metro too, I think, Diz. Is that true?
Metro going off, and some of those usual haunts over at the York Peninsula are doing well. Real well.
All right, Dizzy, let's get in the tuna. It's summer. It should be the peak of the season. It probably isn't quite.
No.
Whether that will still come or whether it's going to be a bit of a funny year with the algae, who knows? But the Warina Tuna Slam was held on the weekend, Diz, and there were some fish caught.
The John Johnson Memorial.
Correct, Diz. Yeah, correct. Held by the Game Fishing Club.
Love it.
And I think a bit of a, what would we call it, Dizzy? Would we call it a combination team?
Yeah.
So Tyson from Want to Fish Charters teamed up with Brad from Fleurieu Charters.
Yep.
and a couple of their mates. And they took out most, if not all, the prizes. They took the mickey, basically.
Cleaned up.
They did very, very well. They caught, what'd they say, 4 or 5 tuna? 5 tuna. And I think they won the competition, Diz.
Yeah, epic.
So $4,000 was the heaviest combined weight of the tuna over the 2 days. I haven't seen official results, but I assume that's what they won.
Yeah, nice.
So that's a good weekend fishing, Diz.
That's a very good weekend fishing. That's real nice.
So good on them, and good on the Game Fishing Club for holding the competition, Diz. They had, I think, 21 boats. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that'd be about right.
So good on them for 21 boats and 78 anglers. So certainly wasn't a lot of fish caught, Dizzy, but as we've said before with some of those things, and when we've been to different competitions in the past, it's a bit about catching fish, but it's a lot about making connections and socialising and getting to know some of these people that you might see on Facebook, or you might see out on the water, or you might have a vague connection to, but putting a face to the name and things like that, Diz.
Yeah, good stuff, Rody. Absolutely couldn't agree with you anymore, mate. Good fun all round, that's for sure. What else is biting? I've had a couple of people come in say they're still doing well down at Southport on the salmon.
Yeah, nice one, Diz. Yeah, Moana was going well the other day too.
Yeah, right.
For some salmon.
You
so
heard
that's
any
always good
reports
fun.
of garfish? Because I'm particularly keen while we are over on Yorks, if we get a nice still night to get the floodie out, get down there.
Who was talking about garfish? I think someone was telling me about garfish, but it was like Port Lincoln Way. I don't know whether they seem to be, along with squid, the other one that's been hit by the algae in this Gulf. Actually, no. That what's the fishing shop, the tackle shop down at Glenelg?
Reel and deal.
I reckon he posted saying he'd seen garfish.
Oh, yeah.
I reckon he might have posted early and launched early and seen them in his light off the boat on the way out.
Happy days.
And I reckon he got a feed of whiting metro.
Oh, good stuff. Love that.
So there have been a few whiting metros, so North Haven and West Beach. And the other thing, Dizzy, talking about whiting, is I saw some yellowfin whiting being caught
Yes.
on
Yep.
top water, sort of northern part of this Gulf,
Yep.
the local Gulf. So that's a good thing, Diz. And Murray Cod,
Yeah, fishing well.
Blanchetown.
Ah, beautiful.
What do you reckon about that?
A hot spot for him.
Very good. And actually, you talked about salmon before. We were at the beach at Carricalinga the other day and saw a couple of schools swim past. One bloke had a rod in his car and just dashed off, got his rod and went out and cast it at him. And he probably caught 3 or 4 before the school swam out a bit too deep.
Nice.
But it was one of those, like, he had the whole beach's attention because he dashed in, like, real energetic and cast his little metal slug out and bang, 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 like 3 in a row. And then I reckon the school must have moved a bit out of casting distance.
Yeah, nice. Love it. Love it. Absolutely love it, mate. No, very good. Nice little fishing report there to wrap this one up. I think we've covered a fair bit of territory there. I was extremely pleased with the listeners out there sending in their voice memos, Rhodey. Couldn't encourage the listeners anymore to get around that. It's a great thing to do.
Very good interaction, Diz. And we should also remind everyone we do have our squid prize up. If anyone can prove to us that they catch a southern calamari inside this Gulf.
Amazing. Let's get around it. Send us in a photo.
So Gulf of St Vincent, you need to prove you caught it there.
Try and get one and flick it in.
Yeah, and then we'll give you a prize. But good luck fishing, guys, and keep your voice memos coming.
Speak soon, guys.
Rhodey and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.